What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. This is my very first channel, Collier DFS. I am Collier. First and foremost, I got to give a shout out to Von Harris, Statman, the DFS Sweatshop, and Cam ATL, simply because I follow those guys on YouTube. They're great with what they do. Cam ATL, I actually got the idea to start my channel the way I am starting it from him. So I always give props and respect to the ones that come before me and inspire me. So that's out the way. That's that, and now it's out the way. Let's get into it. What is it? 4/15/2017 NBA playoff, first game of the NBA playoff Saturday. All right, so I like to build from the bottom up. So I have a saying: if you're gonna build a house, you got to lay the foundation and you got to build up. So building up for me is starting with the center. All right. A lot of people, the highest price center is Gobert. I'm not saying he's not the one to go with or to get. He's great. He's one of my top two centers. First being Karl Anthony Towns. However, Gobert is in a matchup where I'm gonna be honest, everybody's gonna leave. Everybody's gonna leave their heart out on the floor tonight, especially for the very first night. I don't think Gobert would be the one I would go with tonight. However, you have some value centers. I don't too much like Jonas Valanciunas, but at the same time, the data that I collected, the data that I crunched, the numbers that I crunched, the research, it points towards Valanciunas. Now, that'll be up to you to get him if you want. If you want me to line up, I think he would do 30 points easy. Honestly, I think he can do 40. I also have data that points towards Tristan Thompson. Now, Tristan Thompson might be a better play. You know, we're going to play with it. How about that? We're going to play with it. And this is what I'm going to do for now. I'm going to click Thompson. And we're going to come back. I'm going to see how much salary we have remaining, and then we're going to come back to it. On paper, looking at rebound percentage and everything like that, on paper, the position to attack at center is Indiana, number one. Number two, to attack that center, it would be Milwaukee. So just keep that in mind. All right, so moving on to the power forward position, I'm going to be honest with you, hands down, Kevin Love. He's the most expensive one. He's also the one I think that's going to perform tonight. I mean, they're going to put it all out there. They're going to, I mean, only way Love doesn't perform is if they blow Indiana out. But Love is going to perform. I predict him doing anywhere from 35 to 40 points, easy. Hands down, Love. On paper, the numbers I crunched, the number one spot to attack at center, at power forward, is actually Toronto. Yeah, Toronto. In fact, let me double check that because I might be wrong. Yes, it's Toronto. So the number one spot to attack at center is Toronto. So what that means is, and you need to know a few things. The power forward for Toronto, it's not gonna be or Milwaukee. It's not gonna be Hinton. It's gonna be Antetokounmpo. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. All right, so since I know that the number one position to go for on paper is Milwaukee, I like Kevin Love because the number two position to attack at power forward is Indiana. We're going to go with Indiana for now. We're going to go with Cleveland for now. We're going to go with power forward, Cleveland for now. My next power forward would be Aldridge, simply because he's not starting against Zach Randolph. He's starting against, I don't know his name, Green. He's starting against Green. So what that means is he has 5 to 6 minutes on the floor with Green, getting nothing but fantasy value right there. That's where I have Aldridge. Aldridge is a must play. At small forward, Now here's where it gets a little tricky. On paper, the number one position to attack at small forward would be held by Toronto. However, let's think about this, man. Who do Toronto have at small forward? And make it a little bit more easier. Let's do it this way. Who do Toronto have at small forward that can really, really do damage? You got Carroll, you got PJ Tucker. I don't see PJ Tucker or Carroll doing much damage. However, their price is 3,800. And since their price, Tucker price is 3,800, Carroll price is 3,500. And since their price suggests that they could do the damage and they should do the damage, looking at who's starting, you got Carroll starting. So, with Carroll starting against Milwaukee, he should be able to do some damage. Now, let's take a look at Tucker and see his last outing. 29 minutes, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. It sounds good on paper. It looked like he should have did a lot of damage. However, it didn't happen. We're going to take a shot in the dark. We're going to go with Carroll. And I'll tell you why in a little. We're going to go with Carroll. Because at the end of the day, we're creating revenue. We're gonna switch this lineup up. We're building a lineup from ground up, and we're gonna change it to shape our expectations. So, my next small forward position on paper, the next small forward position on paper to attack would be Cleveland. So hands down, you know who's going on, and he's gonna play with his heart. Man, he's gonna put his soul on the fucking court today, and that's Paul George. And for his price point, because see, everybody looks at the prices. LeBron price is at 11,000. I don't see LeBron doing. You know what? Let me rephrase this. LeBron price is at 11,000. If your price is at 11,000, I need you to do Westbrook numbers. I need you to go out there and do 60 to 70 points a night at 11,000. At 11,000, 40, 45, maybe a 50 is not good enough. Fuck that. I'm passing on LeBron. Paul George gets the bet. We're going to rock with Paul George. All right, so our remaining salary is $6,800. Now we're moving on to the shooting guard position. The shooting guard position, you're probably going to be like, why should we even get this guy? Because he's not going to do well. He's a nobody. But the number one guy that sticks out to me is Selden Jr. You're wondering why. Memphis is going up against San Antonio, and they're going to be short-staffed. They're going to be short-staffed. I'm not saying he's going to go out and get you 30, 40 points, but his price point is at 3,500. He's been killing in the D League when he goes out to the D League and whatnot. So he's been doing his thing. However, 3,500 points in the NBA. Price point at 3,500 in the NBA. That translates to me. He should be able to get 20 points, 20 fantasy points at least. Now, going on my paper, it says. On my cheat sheet, it says the position to attack at shooting guard is Memphis, meaning that I need a San Antonio shooting guard to attack Memphis at shooting guard. Now, my next position to attack, my number one position to attack at shooting guard is Cleveland. So I need an Indiana Pacers shooting guard to attack Cleveland, and I need a Cleveland shooting guard to attack Indiana. Those are my plays when it comes to numbers. Now, do I think Cleveland or Indiana will put up good numbers? Well, here's the thing about Cleveland, man. You don't know what's on Cleveland's side. And what I mean by that is you don't know who's going to play the majority of the minutes at shooting guard. We all know J.R. Smith is back, but we all know Shumpert's been holding it down. Then they got Kyle Korver. Kyle Korver's hit and miss. Then, Smith, he comes in and he does his thing too. So you don't know who's going to hold it down, and you don't know how that game's going to go. You don't know if that game's going to be a blowout, if that game's going to be competitive. Because if it's competitive, you don't know if J.R. Smith is going to show up. And the reason why I say J.R. Smith is because he's starting. He's starting. But just because he's starting doesn't mean he's going to get the majority of minutes. So for now, I'm going to go with Selden. The reason why I'm going to go with Selden, simply because we're going to trail back to the power forward position. The number one power forward position to attack is Toronto, who is paired up to start at power forward, Antetokounmpo. So we're going to pick Antetokounmpo, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. I don't think nobody pronounces his name right. But Antetokounmpo is a guy that I'm going to rock with. Now, let's keep it moving. Point guard. There is no number one position. I mean, yeah, there is. The number one position to attack at point guard is Cleveland, and then LA Clippers. So what that means is I need Jeff Teague, who is hurt, or sorry, may or may not be hurt. I need him to perform. He may perform, he may not perform, but I need him to perform. His price point at $7,000, I think he has the opportunity to bring in, let's see, 3,500. I want 40 though. So with that said, Jeff Teague is the number one guy to get at the point guard position, followed by George Hill. He's the number two guy to get at the point guard position. Here's the thing, man. When constructing the perfect lineup, you can't shit on one, Memphis, who sits at third, and two, Milwaukee. Now, here's the thing about Memphis. Conley is going to be going up against Danny Green. Danny Green is going to put up more defensive measures against Conley. So Conley's price point, which is at $7,200, he might not get you 35 or 40 points. He might get you 30 or just over 30, you know. And at $7,200, that's one of those, don't know if I want to, you know. So Jeff Teague has the upside, though. Out of everybody, Jeff Teague has the upside. However, Jeff Teague, he's not 100%. So I suggest let's track down. Who do we have that comes in second? We have George Hill. I don't project George Hill doing anything other than playing defense against Paul George. He's not going to do anything other than play defense against Paul George. I mean, why am I saying Paul George? Chris Paul. Sorry. Chris Paul. I mean, look at what he did on the 25th of last month. 32 minutes played, 9 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 4 turnovers. I'm not saying he just played awful. I'm just saying his mindset was to create pressure for Chris Paul. You know, so if I feel that way and I know that or I think that, I'm gonna trail down a little bit further. Brogdon, the rookie. I mean, honestly, I think he should get Rookie of the Year. He's been playing phenomenal. He's pretty good. He's doing his thing. If I wanted to create a lineup to go GPP friendly, Brogdon would be in my lineup. So I'm gonna click Brogdon. The next guy in my lineup, I only have 7,700 to go with, and it won't be Conley. So I guess now my perfect lineup construction falls to Jeff Teague. So right now we have $700 to play with. What can we do with $700? Could we power up Carroll? What can we do with him? We can't do shit with him. We leave him as is. Selden. Can we power up Selden? What can we do with him? Now, like I said, J.R. Smith is a good pick too. He's starting. However, we don't know how that game. And honestly, the number one position to get at shooting guard is Indiana. So, but before we power up and move past Selden, let's take a look at Tristan Thompson. Like I said, we're going to venture back to Tristan Thompson and see if we can get Valanciunas. We are $100 short of getting Valanciunas. So, since that's the case, we're going to stick with Tristan Thompson. We're going to take Selden. We're going to power him up to J.R. Smith. I'm sorry, not J.R. Smith. You're probably going to be like, why the fuck would you pick this guy? We're going to power him up to Ellis. And this is our lineup. I just created a lineup with you guys to show you the different mindsets of approaching a tournament. If you like what I did, like, comment, subscribe, donate. Email me, if you donate or whatever, donate $1 and I'll email you 4 core players that I feel will definitely go. You're probably going to be wondering why I didn't play some guys, but I'm not trying to be trending towards the more popular guys with minimum outcome to, or minimal exposure to lesser value guys, because in order to win GPPs, you got to get those lesser value guys like DeMar Carroll, Monte Ellis, Tristan Thompson. So if you like what I did, like, comment, subscribe, donate. Once you donate $1. Once you donate, email me. I'll email you 4 core players to pick. Honestly, this and the lineup that I'm creating right now, this is a non-premium lineup. So what that means is I'm creating it for my channel. I'm gonna play it for my channel, and then the end result after today, the next video I post will be the results of this lineup, just to give you a good hands-on feel of where or what or how we did. All right, guys. Thanks for your time. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.